Dear students, in this video we are going to discuss about the principle and working of vapor absorption system. In the previous video, we have discussed about the vapor compression system. First, refrigeration and refrigerants we have seen, and how this refrigeration system is working on the basis of vapor absorption system. So let me say the first of all the refrigeration is the process of removing continuously removing the heat from one space, so by using a refrigerant. Now the refrigerant, there are different types of refrigerants we have seen, and we have seen the properties also. So in this refrigeration system, very important parts, okay, in vapor compression system we have seen that four important parts. One is the throttle valve, the evaporator, the compressor, and the condenser, right? So all the four were very important in the vapor compression system, and in vapor absorption system the entire compressor area is replaced. Remaining other three or okay, fine, the same throttle valve will be there, evaporator will be there, condenser will be there, but the compressor, instead of compressor we are going to make some other systems here. That is number one, absorber, and then one heat exchanger, and then one pump. All the three things are there along with a generator. So this we are going to see about this in this vapor absorption system. Number one, which is the throttle valve, where the throttle valve, what it will happen is it will allow the high pressure to low pressure liquid. So the high pressure to low pressure it will change, and it comes to the evaporator, where in the case of evaporator, this is number two, where the low temperature low pressure vapor will comes out. So after entry into the evaporator chamber, the final output will be the low pressure low temperature vapor. This low pressure low temperature vapor will goes to the absorber, and then there is, we can see the other parts how it is going to function. And but the third point, again I'll tell, the output after the entry of absorber and generator, heat exchanger, and everything, final output is comes as a high pressure high temperature vapor. So the high pressure high temperature vapor get into the condenser area. So when condenser is get into the condenser, and finally it comes as again high pressure liquid. So this the same cycle is going to be rotated, and along with it, that is how the changes are happening with the help of the observer and generator. That's what we are going to see here. So in the fifth, we can see a pump where the ammonium solution is going to be pumped over here, and weak ammonium and strong ammonium solutions both are here. Let me see one by one, what is weak ammonium, what is strong ammonium, how it is going to be function, everything. So first of all, the basic components in the vapor absorption system, we need a generator, a pump, an absorber, and then condenser, evaporator, expansion valve. This condenser, evaporator, expansion valve, as it is in the case of vapor compression system, it is there, but the generator, absorber, and the pump are new to the absorption system, right? In vapor absorption system, what is happening is, first of all, a refrigerant what we have taken, and that refrigerant is very important here. Absorber and generator, or both are very important area. So in the absorber, a combination of refrigerant and a solvent is taking place. So solvent absorbs the large quantities of vapor. So here a refrigerant at low temperature and gives us the vapor. So refrigerant, when it is getting heated, when it is the refrigeration is getting heated, it will give the vapor in the form of vapor. So ammonia and water we are going to use as a the solution, ammonia solution. The water and ammonia is going to be used here. So the what happens is, low pressure low temperature ammonia liquid first enters into the vapor evaporator chamber, because as we said, evaporator, condenser, compressor, and then the throttling valve, these four are the important parts. But in this case of vapor absorption system, that compressor area is removed. So first of all, imagine that the liquid is entered into evaporator chamber. So when the evaporator chamber, when the liquid, the refrigerant enters into evaporator chamber, it absorbs the heat from the area and then it becomes a vapor. So that is the ammonia vapor. So ammonia vapor, now it's enter into the absorber area. So in absorber, water is already filled. So the water is get mixed with the ammonia and it becomes the ammonia solution, right? So the ammonia solution, now the absorber is having the ammonia solution, and now a pump is used for pumping the ammonia solution. The pump, it pumps the ammonia solution and it moves towards the condenser where the in between that we are having that what is that we call it a generator. A generator is there. So this ammonia solution is heated in the generator now through the heating coil or something, heater is required. So the heating coil, the ammonia solution is getting heated up. So when it is getting heated up through that in the generator, it produces the ammonia vapor. It produces the ammonia vapor. So that vapor again it sends to condenser. So ammonia vapor it sends to condenser. That there the heat rejection process taking place, and the again the ammonia vapor is going to converted as a that's a liquid. Okay, so condensed into liquid, ammonia liquid comes up, and the what it is getting settled now, the liquid ammonia is again it goes to the observer area. So that continuous process is happening. So right, this is what how the ammonia solution becomes vapor and it is getting condensed. And here once again we can see this image. So this first important thing is the evaporator. So through the evaporator, the ammonia vapor is going to the absorber. In this absorber, this water plus ammonia it becomes a solution. So ammonia, water becomes solution. So the pump is going to be pumped this. The pump will pump this ammonia solution and to the generator. In generator, heating coil will be used, and the heating it heats the ammonia solution, and the ammonia vapor is segregated, and ammonia vapor again it passes to the condenser, and there again ammonia vapor becomes ammonia liquid. So after condensing, the ammonia liquid comes once again, and the it will passes through the expansion valve, and again it enter into evaporator. So this cycle will be continuously it will take place. So this is how this ammonia take ammonia solution and ammonia vapor is getting formed in this vapor absorption system. So we call it as vapor absorption system, and previously we have seen vapor compression system. So this is how the vapor absorption system works. And what are the difference between the absorption system and compression system? So here we can use this low grade energy like heat. In vapor absorption system we can use heat, the low grade energy like heat. So therefore it may work on exhaust system from IC engines. Like here in the vapor compression system, high grade energy is needed for compressing the things. And when it goes for the vapor absorption system, the moving parts will be less when compared to vapor compression. The compressor it needs more wear and tear. It have more moving parts, and wear and tear will be more. And the effects of reducing the load on the performance will be less in case of vapor absorption, but here it will be more. Performance is affected in partial loads. And the what is an automatic operation for the controlling capacity is easy in case of vapor absorption, but it is difficult in vapor compression. And charging is very simple in vapor absorption, it is very difficult in vapor compression. Like this, some advantages and disadvantages are there in case of vapor compression and absorption, right? So in the next video we will see about the refrigeration, the air condition and windows air condition and all. So thank you for watching.